What is that? The Superman whiff? My man. Aside from that, that's a false start in the backfield. He gets set in motion.
I don't know who you is. Now, with that being said, I'm not trying to intentionally target Brown's offensive lineman. None of that. I just want to call a spade. But when it comes to Shedeur Sanders, when it comes to Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco, or even Deshaun Watson. Now, we're just seeing offensive linemen sneak this Shedeur. We're just seeing offensive linemen.
Like, subscribe and hit that bell.
Fans are fired up, and honestly, they have every reason to be. A new viral clip just surfaced, and it straight up shows a lineman sabotaging Shedeur Sanders. And it looks intentional. Now everyone is asking the same question: how long has this been happening? The frustration is real. That play doesn't look like a mistake, it looks planned. You can clearly see the lineman moving like he's working against his own team. No contact on the defender, no effort to protect, just wide open sabotage. And this isn't the first time. We've already seen linemen sneak dissing Shedeur, blocking their own teammates, even jumping early like they're trying to blow up the entire play. When things like this keep repeating, it stops looking like individual errors and starts looking like orders. And when you connect the dots, all signs point to one man, Kevin Stefanski. Let's be real, offensive linemen don't suddenly start behaving like this unless someone higher up is directing it. Fans are literally calling it an inside job, and you can't blame them. When a guard steps aside like he's letting a defender walk through a VIP entrance, when another lineman blocks his own teammate, when nobody even touches the rusher, that isn't football. That looks like point shaving. That looks like throwing the game. And Stefanski has been acting shady for months, with the play calling, the formations, and the situations he keeps forcing Shedeur into. If anyone would plant guys to tank Shedeur's confidence or push a narrative that he's not ready, it's Stefanski. Fans see it clearly. Comments like "someone needs to watch this team closely and this is an eye-opener, the league should investigate" aren't exaggerations anymore, they're valid concerns. Everyone knows Shedeur is doing everything right, protecting the ball, staying poised, preparing, and leading. But none of that matters when your own coach surrounds you with people who don't want you to succeed. So now the question is simple: is this sabotage? Or is Stefanski straight up throwing games from the inside? Either way, Shedeur deserves way better than this mess.
I was looking for Shedeur film when I came across the worst fourth down attempt of all time. It is 4th and 1, bordering on the red zone, and I want to direct your attention to right tackle Jack Conklin. Because who told him to do this?
What the hell is that? Bro. Hold up. Hold up. Y'all see this? Y'all see this? Hold up, bro. Let's go back. Go back. Watch this, y'all.
Told him to do this. What is that? The Superman whiff? My man. Aside from that, that's a false start in the backfield. He gets set in motion, and that's a false start right there.
When you watch that 4th and 1 play, it stops looking like football and starts looking like something else entirely. Jack doesn't look like a right tackle trying to win a game, he looks like a guy performing a scene nobody rehearsed. He jumps early, launches forward like he's doing some kind of Superman dive, and completely wrecks the timing before the ball is even snapped. No one pushes him. No one forces it. He chooses to destroy the play. And the worst part? It's like everyone agreed to pretend it never happened. Shedeur is lined up, ready to lead, ready to make the read, ready to convert the easiest situation in football. But how is he supposed to do anything when his own lineman sabotages the play before it even begins? And again, this has Stefanski written all over it. Linemen don't act like this on their own. Nobody randomly flies out of position on 4th down unless the environment is completely broken. Stefanski keeps putting Shedeur in disasters week after week, reckless play calling, unstable protection, guys who either can't or won't hold their spots. That's why fans keep calling it an inside job, because it's always Shedeur paying the price. He's prepared, composed, and doing everything right, but Stefanski keeps giving him a line that collapses on purpose, jumps early, or opens a free lane for the defense. That wasn't a failure by Shedeur. It was a failure by Conklin and a failure by Stefanski for letting this garbage continue under his watch.
Doesn't get called, whatever. Lastly, let's look at left guard Big Joel Bitonio, because he equally whiffs.
Now he's the one that we've been on hard, bro. Sneak this, and he been the one saying little stuff. He been the one like he's the leader of the offense. Basically, he been trying to be the quarterback of the offense, the leader.
Nothing.
You can't sit up here and tell me he didn't. Come on, bro. What the fuck? Look, come on, bro. The film ain't gonna lie on you, bro.
Nothing. Just falls to the ground. Forget the unblocked free safety. He's going to whiff the guy up front, and both of them get through untouched. My God. I was looking for...
That was a 4th and 1, y'all. That was a 4th and 1 play. 4th and 1. Man, now y'all see what we dealing with. Now y'all see why it be so hard for me to become a Cleveland Brown fan, bro. Because this is what we dealing with, man.
When you look at Bitonio on that play, it's honestly embarrassing. This is supposed to be the veteran leader, the guy who talks the most, acts like he runs the offense. But when the moment comes, he gives nothing. No punch, no block, no effort. He drops to the ground like he's trying to avoid the play. He doesn't touch the defender in front of him, doesn't pick up the free rusher, and doesn't protect his quarterback. Both defenders come through untouched, and Shedeur is left standing there with zero chance. When you expect your lineman to get mean and set the tone, Bitonio gives up before the play even starts. And again, the film never lies. This goes right back to Stefanski. You can't keep calling these mistakes when the same type of breakdown happens across the entire line. When one guy messes up, maybe it's an error. But when all the linemen consistently mess up the same way, slow blocks, no contact, free rushes, falling down, the issue is bigger than the players. Stefanski has created a culture where this trash is allowed. Where leaders like Bitonio talk big but play soft. Where Shedeur is left alone, carrying the offense while the people paid to protect him don't even pretend to block. Stefanski keeps pushing a narrative that Shedeur needs to develop, but how can he develop when the coach won't give him a real offensive line? This isn't on Shedeur. This is 100% on Stefanski.
And when it comes to you and Shedeur, do you see similarities in the way you've both had to navigate some adversity in the league as rookies so far?
I think every rookie's journey is different. You know, he may have a good game this week, a bad game next week. I may have a bad game this week, good game next week. So you really just take it week to week. You play the play call, you live, the quarterback way of not getting too high or too low in any aspect. You really just continue to try to, focus on what you can do. Because at the end of the day, I don't know what's going on in their building. I don't know what he has to deal with on a daily basis in and out of the building. So I just try to focus on the Titans and, doing.
Cam Ward's answer says a lot without saying it directly. His tone is calm, but you can hear the respect he has for Shedeur between the lines. He talks about how every rookie's experience is different, some good weeks, some tough weeks, and that's exactly what Shedeur lives through, except his situation is far more chaotic. Cam gets to focus on football, the Titans, his growth, the next play. Shedeur has to deal with noise, strange coaching decisions, and an offensive line that breaks down in ways no rookie QB should ever face. When Cam says he doesn't know what Shedeur has to deal with inside the building, that's not just a throwaway line, that's another quarterback acknowledging that Shedeur might be facing deeper problems. And with the Browns about to face the Titans, Cam's mindset highlights the difference between the two environments. Cam has stability, routine, and a staff supporting him. Shedeur walks into every game needing to be perfect just to have a chance because his coach and his line put him in impossible situations. Cam talks about staying level and sticking to the quarterback mindset, but the truth is, no rookie in this class has had to carry the weight Shedeur carries. The pressure, the criticism, the lack of protection, all of it, and he still shows up with maturity, toughness, and leadership. The Titans get to prepare for the Browns. Shedeur has to prepare for chaos.
Grab unfolded for him with him continuously dropping, even though being one of the top quarterbacks. And did you reach out to him? What did you say to him? Like that?
Really, everything happens for a reason. God has a plan for myself. He has a plan for you. At the end of the day, you just got to continue to prove yourself right. Every time he steps on the field, I know he's going to, prove himself right. The same goes for me. So we just got to continue to stay in just the everyday mindset of getting better and not letting bad outcomes dictate the next day.
Cam Ward's words hit because they show what real quarterbacks see in Shedeur. He talks about purpose, growth, and proving yourself every time you step on the field, and that's exactly what Shedeur has been forced to do since the draft. He should have gone early. Everyone knew his talent, IQ, and leadership. But he kept sliding. And now we see why. He landed in the one system where his own coach refuses to support him. Yet even with Stefanski dragging the team backward, Shedeur still steps out there every week ready to prove himself, ready to compete, ready to stay solid when everything around him is unstable. Cam says he knows Shedeur will prove himself right every time he plays, and honestly, how many rookies can do that while carrying an offense behind a sabotaged line? And this raises real questions. How is Shedeur supposed to prove himself when Stefanski keeps throwing him into broken plays? How is he supposed to grow when the coach won't build a real pocket? How can you judge a rookie when the staff acts like they're trying to humble him instead of help him? Stefanski talks about development, but where is it? Where's the support? Where's the accountability for the disaster up front? Cam talks about not letting bad outcomes ruin the next day, but why do these bad outcomes keep happening under Stefanski's watch? At some point the truth gets simple. Is Shedeur struggling? Or is Stefanski the reason he has to fight twice as hard just to survive? One thing is clear, Shedeur isn't the problem. He's the one surviving a broken system while still proving his talent every week. And with more players speaking up and more film exposing the truth, the pressure is finally shifting where it belongs. If you're getting value from these breakdowns, make sure to subscribe, like, and stay locked in. And tell me, is Stefanski holding Shedeur back, or is it time for the Browns to make a major change?